and I'm here today at home with South Dundas Recreation to bring you your May at-home workout. So today, here's what we're going to need. Ideally, we would have a pair of dumbbells. A pair of kettlebells also works. Also, one dumbbell or one kettlebell works as well. And if you don't have any weights at home, you can always use like a jug of laundry soap. Makes a great weight as well. And if you have a matching pair of laundry soap, then perfect, that works too. So there's lots of ways that we can join in on the workout today. So I'm going to take you through a warm-up, the workout, and a quick cool down at the end. So hopefully we'll have some fun. So let's get right into it. We're going to start stretching, just getting the body mobile with some dynamic movement and a little bit of pumping up the muscles that we're going to be using. So we're going to start from the top down. We're going to cross the arms over the chest. We're going to bring chin to the chest. We're going to roll the head around. And we'll go back the other way. Feel free at home to put on any kind of music you want that's going to get you pumped up for your workout. And then we're going to lift the head. We're going to straighten the arms. So we're going to draw the rib cage in on an exhale. So when we breathe out, the ribs pull in and down and the belly button zips back to the spine. Keeping the abs engaged, we're going to take the shoulders through some controlled articular rotations. So moving the shoulder blades or the scapula, we're going to protract or separate, elevate, retract, and decompress. And again, protract, elevate, retract, decompress. One more time, separating, lifting, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and pull them down. And then from here, we'll do hugs, loosely opening and closing the arms. And then we're going to bring the arms back up. We're going to go the other direction. So again, on the exhale, pull the belly button to the spine, ribs draw down, abs are nice and tight. We're going to keep that nice hold, and we're going to retract, elevate, protract, decompress. Retract, elevate, protract, decompress. Once more. And then we're going to do some hugs again to shake that off. And then from here, we're going to go for some full arm circles. So make sure you've got room all around you. And then we're going to go the other way. And then we're going to do something called an up and over. So today we're going to be putting weight overhead. So we want to mobilize the shoulders. So we're going to practice keeping the core or the abs, I should say, engaged as we reach the elbows to the sky. So we're going to, on an exhale, swing the arms up and just pause here for a moment. So we're going to pinch the elbows towards the ceiling, sort of reaching your fingers down your back. And if you feel like right now your back is arching, we want to try to avoid arching the back in order to get the elbows higher. Think about pulling your ribs down towards your hips, squeezing in, zip the belly button towards the spine, and then tuck the hips up. So you're nice and straight down from the crown of your head, all the way from shoulders, hips, and ankles. There's a nice straight line, and we're solid. So then we're going to practice that a couple times. So on the exhale, swing up, squeeze, and then release. We're going to keep doing this. Exhale, swing the elbows up, squeeze the abs, squeeze the elbows up. So elbows up, abs down. Elbows up, abs down. Two more. It's actually kind of hard. So we're gonna do the last one here and we're gonna hold. So then keeping, again, pulling the ribs towards the floor, belly button zips back to the spine. We're gonna squeeze the elbows up and then we're gonna straighten the arms. So hopefully I'm making a nice straight line. My glutes are engaged, my abs are engaged. I'm pulling my shoulders back. And then rest. Shake that out. That's actually pretty hard. But that's what I want you to think about today when we do some overhead presses. When you're in that top position with the arms locked out, think about what we just did. Keeping those abs tight and trying to avoid arching the back. All right, so from here, we're gonna grab one dumbbell. So if you have a pair, you're just gonna grab one. And if you have one, just grab one. Again, if you don't have weight, you can grab some laundry soap or something. And we're gonna practice a little bit with that overhead press, just with one light dumbbell. We don't wanna go too crazy here, just trying to warm up. So feet are hip width apart, good solid stance. We're nice and tall, shoulders over the hips, hips over the ankles. And then from here, on an exhale, you're gonna press that weight overhead and lock it out. Exactly like we just practiced, but now we're adding a little bit of load. And again, exhale to press, lock it out, hold it here, slowly bring that weight back to the chest. 3 more times. Two more. Last one, lift and hold. Again, ribs are down as we're pushing that weight towards the ceiling and we're in a nice straight line. And then we're gonna slowly bring that back down. Perfect, so we can set that weight aside. And then we're gonna start moving the legs a little bit. So we're gonna do what's called a bow and bend. So again, feet hip width apart. We're gonna bow forward, reaching for the floor, hamstring stretch. We're gonna stand tall, squeeze the glutes or your butt cheeks, and try to open the hips, bending back. So again, we bow forward, bend back. And when you bend back, we're trying to just open the hip as opposed to arching your back. You're really trying to press the hips forward. So think of it as closing and opening the hips. One more. Perfect. All right, then from here, we're gonna do what's called a good morning. So we're gonna be doing deadlifts today. So this is gonna sort of prep us for the motion of a deadlift. So for the good morning, the feet are gonna go wide, fingertips behind the ears, and you're gonna draw the elbows back, pinching your shoulder blades together or retracting the shoulder blades. We've already done that today. So then keeping that nice, straight, solid core, from here, we're gonna push the hips back behind the heels, hinging down, we're closing that hip. Let the knees bend as you sit back into the hips and heels. And then from here, we're gonna push straight down into the heels to stand up, opening the hip, squeezing the glutes, but not bending, just coming up to a nice straight line. And then again, drive the hips back, hinging, and exhale to stand tall and squeeze. Going slow. Two more. Hinging back. Last one, keep pinching the shoulder blades together. And up. Perfect. So now we're gonna practice, again, today we're gonna be doing a deadlift. So no weight, we're just gonna use imaginary weights. So it's pretty much the same as the good morning, but feet are gonna be hip width apart, or maybe a smidgen wider, depending on if you're using 1 or 2 dumbbells. So if you're using a pair of dumbbells today, you're gonna be holding them like suitcases, And just like the good morning, you're going to hinge back and stand up. If you're only using one dumbbell today, you're going to hold that one weight in between the legs and hinge. So you'll have to have the feet a pinch wider than as if you were using two. So again, here's two, there's one, and again we hinge. You'll do 5 on one side, 5 on the other side. We'll get into that in a bit. So we're going to imagine that we have two. We're going to imagine that we have one dumbbell in each hand. Feet are hip width apart. Roll your shoulders down and back and pinch your underarm in. So imagine like you're holding a piece of paper under your armpit. So you're pulling your elbows into your sides and sort of almost flex the back of your arms, your triceps a little bit. And then staying nice and tall, upper back's engaged. Now we're going to do, again, just like our good morning. We're going to push the hips back behind the heels, close the hip, hinging forward, and hands are right next to your legs. So our hands are, we're trying to avoid having the hands out in space. We want them, bam, elbows in. You've got the armpit engaged, and that's automatically going to pull that arm back in line with your legs in a really good, solid, strong position. So practice this a couple of times, just with your body weight, getting the feel for this hinging pattern, keeping the nice flat back, sending the hips behind the heels, and keep squeezing your armpits. Again, like you're trying to hold a piece of paper under your arm, and if our arms come too far forward, that piece of paper is going to drop. Let's do 2 more. Perfect. All right, so from here, we're gonna make our way into an inchworm and we're gonna make our way down into a plank. So we're gonna reach for the floor. We're gonna walk out to a plank. So from plank position, we can bring the knees down. Now we're gonna do an ankle stretch here. So I'm gonna bring my left foot up in between my hands. Then I'm gonna come up. So I'm just gonna draw that left foot back a pinch, and I'm gonna lean onto the thigh there. So what I'm trying to do is using the weight of my torso to sort of drive my shin closer to the top of the foot without lifting the heel. So you feel a bit of an Achilles tendon stretch, working on my ankle flexion, which is gonna come in handy when we squat today. So then we're gonna come out and we're gonna switch. Right foot comes up. So again, you might have to pull the foot back a tad and then leaning onto the leg, looking to work on our ankle flexion. And then we'll come back to hands and knees. And then we're gonna bring that left foot up again and we're gonna come up. So we're gonna do what's called a Samson Lunge. So we're gonna reach the arms up, drive the hips forward, and then we're going to tuck the back toes under, sit back on the heel, straighten the front leg, and bring the arms down. Hamstring stretch. Again, coming up and back. Let's do one more. And then we're going to do the exact same thing, other side. So we'll bring the right foot up, coming up, back toes tucked under, reach the arms up, push the hips forward, sit back and hinge down. Two more. Perfect. All right, we're gonna come back to hands and knees, and we're gonna make our way into a deep squat. So we're gonna come into a plank, but you're gonna bring your feet a little bit wider than the width of your hips. From here, you're gonna bend your knees, walk your hands back, and finish in a deep squat. So I'm going to adjust myself here for the camera. So the deep squat, heels are on the floor. We're sitting all the way down into our hips. So it's a passive position. It's not active, hopefully anyways. So sitting, again, all the way down here. We're going to use the elbows inside of the knees to just gently open and close the knees in a butterfly fashion. Again, we want the heels on the floor. That's really important here. We want to avoid being up on our toes. Try to get those heels down without falling backwards. And then from here, we're going to scoop the arms up like you're trying to block out the sun. Looking at the backs of your hands, you're going to shift your weight into your heels and press up to stand. Shake that out. All right, so from here, we've practiced our overhead position. We've practiced our deadlift. Now we're going to practice our squat. So we're going to just do a tempo squat. So we're going to be going really slow, body weight, focusing on some tracking. So to start, heels go just outside hip width. Maybe turning the toes out comfortably, 20-30 degrees. Again, everybody's squat's gonna look a little bit different depending on the structure of your hips. So again, guidelines, just outside hip width, toes turned out 20-30 degrees comfortably. So from here, I am gonna have you bring your arms up and looking at the back of the hands. So again, like you're trying to block out the sun. This is just gonna try to help facilitate an upright torso, so we don't go into a deadlift. So we're going to initiate our squat by engaging the abs. Pull the belly button to the spine and draw the rib cage down. Keep the abs tight as you gently press the hips back and then bend the knees. Sit back, back, back into those heels. Chest up, look at the hands, back more, all the way until your crease of your hip goes below the knee. And then push up to stand. Let's do that 2 more times, really slow. So again, abs in, hips back, bend the knees, back, 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 hips and heels, eyes up, abs in, all the way to full range of motion, and stand up. And if you can't do full range of motion, that's okay. Follow along, going as deep as you can, until you feel like you're right at the edge of your range of motion, and then stand back up. Let's do it one more time. Abs in, hips back, bend the knees, sit into the heels, keep looking up at those hands, and up. Perfect. So now we're going to add a light load. So again, you can hang on to some laundry soap. You can hang on to a kettlebell, you can hang on to a dumbbell. We're just looking to hang on to one weight here. So I'm gonna hold my dumbbell like a bow tie, a nose in each hand here. And I'm gonna sort of rest that weight on my chest, front of the shoulders. And I'm gonna sort of puff my shoulders up a little bit to create a nice cushion. So from here, we're going to do the same thing we just did, but now we have this load that we're adding into our squat. So keep your eyes up, looking up, and then abs tight. Here we go. Hips go back, bend the knees, hold down, sit back, hold down, sit back, look up, and stand. 2 more. Down and back. Weights in the heels, hips back, eyes up, abs in. 1 more time, back, and down, and up. Perfect. So now I want you to stay where you are. We're gonna do 3 more squats, but we're gonna try to do it a little bit faster. So 3 squats at a little bit faster pace. Here we go. So back and down, and up. 1, back and down, and up. 2, back and down, and up. 3. Beautiful. We can set that weight aside. All right. So grab a quick sip of water if you need it. Here's what we're going to be doing today. 10 rounds for time. It's a long one. It's a little bit of a journey, so hang tight with me. One round consists of 10 deadlifts, 10 push press, and 10 front squats. So you're gonna do 10 rounds. So in total, that's 300 reps for the whole workout, 100 reps of each move. So again, it's a bit of a journey. Hang tight, you can do it. There's a couple ways you can come at this. There's gonna be a 30-minute time cap on it. So no matter what, 30 minutes is done, you're done, whether you finished or not. But there's a couple ways, again, you can come at this. So option one is to treat it kind of like an EMOM, every minute on the minute, watching your stopwatch. Try to get each move done in a minute. So try to get those 10 deadlifts done in a minute, and then rest, and then try to get the 10 push press done in a minute, and then rest, and then continue on. You can also treat it more like a complex, doing all 10 deadlifts, right into all 10 push press, right into all 10 front squats, then take a short break before you do the complex again. So depending on your endurance, those are kind of two ways you can tackle it. Resting between each move, or doing all 3 moves together and then resting a little bit longer at the end there. So I'm going to be attempting to do it like a complex today, but again, you do your thing. So again, if you'd like to write this down, it's 10 rounds for time, 10 deadlifts, 10 push press, 10 front squat. Here's what that's going to look like. If you want, you can follow along with this demonstration. So 10 deadlifts. We practice this in the warm-up with our imaginary weights. So holding a weight in each hand, feet hip width, we hinge and we lift. Notice that my hands are nice and close to my legs. We're avoiding sending those hands out into space. And I keep the weights close to my legs by engaging my upper back. So after 10 deadlifts, you're going to bring the weights to the shoulders and do 10 push press. So a push press is an overhead press, but you get a little bit of help from the legs. So you're going to dip straight down and drive. Straight down and drive. So this is where, when we practice that overhead position in the warm-up, that's what we're looking for. It's really important to try to avoid arching the back and sending the hips forward. After you've done your 10 push press, then you're going to go right into squats. 1 weight on each shoulder and do 10 squats. And then that's 1 round. Now, if you only have 1 dumbbell, your deadlifts will look slightly different. Instead of the feet hip width apart, bring them a little wider and the dumbbell between. You'll still hinge. You'll do 5 on one side, 5 on the other side. And then same thing with the push press. You'll do 5 push press on one arm, 5 push press on the other arm, dip and drive. And then you'll do 5 squats on one side and 5 squats on the other side. And that's what it's going to look like with 1 weight. So, and again, if you're using like a laundry soap, you'll treat it just the same way you would as if you're holding 1 weight, doing 5 on each arm. All right, so let's do it. 10 rounds for time. We got a 30-minute time cap. Starting off with 10 deadlifts. Slow and steady off at the start here. Try to avoid going too fast out of the gate or you're going to burn out really quick. So slow and steady. Get my timer going. And in 3, 2, 1, go. Round 1, 10 deadlifts. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And weights to the shoulder. 10 push press. Dip and straight up. 10 squats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So that's 1 round done. If you want, keep going. That only took me 1 minute and 12 seconds. So I'm gonna rest a pinch before I do that again. So again, I did it kind of like a complex. I did all 3 moves back to back. And now I'm taking a little longer rest here. You don't have to do it that way. You can do your deadlifts, rest, your push press, rest, your squats, rest, and then go right back to your deadlifts. And you don't have to rest when I rest. Right now, you're on the clock. Go your own pace here. Okay, I'm gonna start round 2 in 3, 2, 1. Here's my round 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So again, that took me about 1 minute and 6 seconds. Again, go at your own pace here. You can do it the way I'm doing it if you want, or again, you can break it up. So for me, I'm doing it as a complex, all 3 moves back to back, no rest. And then I'm taking a big rest here. My first round, with my rest, I got it done. I took 2 minutes. So round 2, I'm just waiting for the clock. And in probably another 10 seconds, so almost at 4 minutes, I'll go again. So for me, I'm trying to keep like a 2-minute EMOM essentially to get those 10 rounds done. But again, you do it your way. That's just one way of many to tackle this. 3, 2, 1, here I go again, round 3. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3. And you don't have to go as fast as I'm going either. 10. You can go faster if you want, or slower. All right, so again, that took me about a minute, a little over a minute. I'm gonna rest a bit, but you can totally keep going. Again, it totally depends on how you're tackling this. I've got 3 rounds done, and you can see I am huffing and puffing. I'm sweating hard. This is a journey. Because I've only got 3 rounds done, and I've got 7 more to go. So hang tight. It's a bit of a roller coaster, but you can do it. After that halfway point, it's gonna get a little bit better because you're almost there. These rounds are tough though at the beginning. Slow and steady. Try not to rush through it right now. Take your time. Give yourself some rest. Move slow. Here we go. I'm gonna start round 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my gosh. Okay. 1, 2. I'm right here with you. 4, 5, 6. Oh, those squats. Oh, those squats. Woo, doing good. I'm keeping pace. And that's another thing to look out for when you see workouts that are rounds for time. We want to see consistency from round to round. So again, my round 1 took me 1:12, and then I rested until 2 minutes hit. And I've been able to keep that up. Each subsequent round has been about 1:12, adding on a little bit of rest. So I'm working in 2-minute portions. So what we want to avoid is like a really fast round 1, a good round 2, and then things start to like slow down. So let's say I did 1:12 in round 1. I'd want to avoid doing like all of a sudden in round 5, I'm doing 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Try to keep it repeatable efforts. Okay, here I go again, round 5. So 1, back to 10 deadlifts. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And 10. Oh, squats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. Oh, beautiful. Halfway. Oh, that's good. Again, I'm keeping up my time. So far, my first 5 rounds I've been able to do in that minute 10, minute 12 range. And then again, I'm resting a little bit before I start again. You don't have to, totally up to you. I'm just giving myself enough rest to make sure I can repeat my effort. If I was to go right again, off the bat without taking a little bit of rest, my rounds would really slow down. And again, we're looking to keep it repeatable. Again, for me, it's about 1:10 each time is what I'm looking for. With the same amount of rest each time as well. All right, here I go, round 6. 10 deadlifts. Push press, dip, and drive. And now 10 squats. 6 rounds done. Getting a little bit closer. Doing good. All right. Hang tight. Keep going. I know it's hard, but you got it. You can always drop down to one weight if you've been using 2 to lighten the load. So I'll do a round with 1 dumbbell to demonstrate. Should have done that at the beginning, got carried away. Okay, for myself, I'm gonna rest another like 10 seconds before I do round 7. So again, slow and steady. Take your time, give yourself these little breaks, but stay consistent. So 3, 2, 1. So I'm gonna demonstrate with 1 dumbbell, where I'm gonna do 5 on the left, 5 on the right, and then again 5 on the right, 5 on the left, and now my squats. 5 on the left, 'a lot easier with half the load. Switching sides, and 5 on the right. That's round 7 done. 3 more, 8, 9, and 10. So that actually took me just about the same amount of time as 2, but I'm not as pooped. So that's what it would look like with 1 dumbbell. And the 1 dumbbell is the same as if you had 1 household object. You would treat it the same as the 1 dumbbell. Okay. Again, I'm gonna give myself another 30 seconds here. And then I'm gonna go for round 8. Again, you might be ahead of me, you might be behind, and you might be right with me. Doesn't matter, do your own thing. If you finish before me, fast forward to the end of the video to the cool down. If I finish before you, pause me until you're done, and then restart me for the cool down. All right, I'm gonna go for round 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3. Hang with me. 4, 5, 6. Okay, 8 rounds done. 2 more to go. Oh. Again, you might be faster than me. Good for you. Just pause me or fast forward me to suit whatever you're doing right now. I still have 2 more rounds to go. Oh, I'm making good time. 15 minutes, 30 seconds so far. So I'm aiming to get this done in 20 minutes. Because I still got 2 more rounds. I've been keeping pace with 2-minute rounds. Work rest included in that 2 minutes. So I'm gonna give myself another 10 seconds to catch my breath and get ready for round 9. All right, 3, 2, 1, round 9. 10 deadlifts, You got it. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whew. Okay. Again, I'm going to take a little break. And there's 1 round left. If you want, you don't have to rest. You can go right into it. But I'm going to rest. So I want to make sure I can do this last round just as good as all my other rounds. Good form, quality movements, and keeping the same time. But that minute 12. I feel like if I start too early, I'm going to slow right down. So I'm going to give myself another 10, 15 seconds. But you may just want this over with. Okay. Last round, round 10. In 3, 2, 1. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Done with the deadlift. 1, 2, 3. Done with the push press. 1, 2, you got it. 3, 4, 5. I'm right with you. 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, done. I gotta sit 19 minutes on the button. Oh, wow. Excellent job. Whew. So, again, if you are still going at this point, pause the video, take your time, finish up, keep it within that 30-minute time cap, and then if you reach the 30 minutes, you'll start the cool down. If you finish it before 30 minutes, awesome. Whenever you're done, just start the cool down. If you finished a long time ago, hopefully you fast forwarded to this part. Okay, cool down. Let's lie down on our back so we can make some room, clear away the equipment. And we're going to come to lie down. Oh. And just catch your breath and be proud of yourself for getting in some movement today that maybe really pushed you out of your comfort zone. And whether you finished or not, just be proud of the effort you gave. And let's inhale to reach the arms overhead. Point the toes, full body stretch. Exhale to bring the knees into the chest. Give them a big hug. Rocking from side to side. We'll circle the knees around the hips. And we'll circle the other way. Let's hang on to the right knee and stretch our left leg onto the floor. We're going to flex the feet and straighten the right leg. Driving your heel up towards the ceiling, grabbing behind the thigh. Gently pulling in, looking for that hamstring stretch. And then we're going to bend the knee, right arm at shoulder height, and we're going to go into a twist. Bringing that left knee over to the right, turning to look at your outstretched right arm. Coming back to center and switching out. Bring up the left leg, stretch out the right leg. Give that left knee a big hug. Again, we'll flex the feet, straighten the leg, grabbing behind the thigh to pull in. Then we'll bend that left knee, left arm at shoulder height, and we'll come into our twist. Lowering the left leg over to the right and turning to look at the outstretched left arm. And then coming back to center, we're gonna roll over to one side. You can use your arm to help sit up. And from here, we'll clasp the hands behind the back. We're gonna pull through the chest, front of the shoulders. And then we'll release. We'll reach one arm out front, grabbing just above the elbow. We'll pull the arm across, looking over the shoulder. Now, if your shoulder's sort of hunched up into your chin, roll your shoulder down and back and pull across again. We'll do the same thing other side. Reaching out, pulling across, adjusting if you need to. And then there we go. Awesome job. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, it's a bit of a journey. That's a tough one, a little bit harder than some of the other workouts we've done so far. I hope you had fun. That's also one of the, I teach the HIIT class, and that is one of the classes we are doing this week. So a little sneak peek into some of the things you can expect from South Dundas Recreation and what our classes look like. So I hope you had fun, and we'll see you next time.